Okay, so in the last class, we discussed about the some of the data types which we will use in Python, and also we discussed about the variables and the rules for naming a variable. Okay, and we will discuss in today's class. We will discuss, or we will continue from there onwards. Before that, I would like to add some more information how this Python is different from other languages. For example, if you consider C programming, C language, in there we have to declare all the variables initially, then we have to uh, initialize. Okay. For example, in C programming, we are having, so if you consider C programming, we have this initialization. First you have to initialize your variables like integer a, integer b, like that. First you have to initialize these values, or integer a comma b, like that. But here it is not that 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 kind of sorry, declaration is not required here. So in C programming, or in some any other program you consider, you might need this kind of a declaration before you initialize or operate with that particular variable. Okay, so that kind of declaration is not required in Python program. So you can directly write, for example, so after this integer a and b, you will write a equal to 5, b equal to some, for example, 10, and then you go for sum s equal to something else, so that you have to initialize this sum also. So declare this s also as integer, and s will be equal to a plus b. This kind of statements that you have to write while in C program. Okay, but in here we do not require this kind of declaration. You can directly in Python you can directly say a equal to 5, a equal to 5, b equal to 10, and then just s equal to a plus b. So what is the difference? Difference is you do not require any kind of declaration like this in Python. Okay, so you can directly write a equal to 5, then the Python interpreter will automatically assign this value as an integer, because you are writing it as an integer. Okay, and this also b equal to 10. If you write it like this, then the interpreter will understand that this b is an integer value, because you have written it as a 10. If you write 10.5, then it will automatically it will take as a float value. Okay, so we do not require any kind of declaration in Python program. Similarly, if you write any code in the C program, you will use this semicolon after every statements. Okay, after every statement, that will give information like this particular statement is over. Okay, hence here. Okay, but that is not required in Python. You can just give your instructions line by line. One after first line, then it will be the interpreter will understand this is this one is first line, second line, this is the third line, like that. So you don't require any kind of semicolon to break or to separate the instructions line by line in the case of Python. Okay, so where you require the semicolon in Python, if you are writing a equal to 5 and b equal to 10 in the same line, then you require this semicolon equal to 10. Okay, so in that case you require this semicolon to separate these two. Otherwise you don't require the semicolon at the end of your instruction to um, understand, or to give the interpreter the information that this particular line is over, or something, instruction is over, or something like that. So that is not required in the case of Python. You can just write it as a equal to 5, b equal to 10.5, and so on. And another important feature of this Python is that you can write this these variables in a single line. This is called as a multiple assignment. So in multiple assignment, what you can do, you can write a comma b equal to let's say 5 comma 10, which means that a equal to 5 and b equal to 10. So this kind of multiple assignments are also possible in case of Python. Okay. Similarly, you can you do like this also. Okay? So these are the some of the difference, basic difference when you write code in Python apart from other programming language. Okay. Also, in the last class, we discussed about variables, and we told that the variables name should not be a keyword. So, what are the different keywords available in Python? So, I will explain some of the keywords, some of the important keywords in Python. So, these are not the entire keywords. Okay. So I'll be discussing keywords which is important to you. Okay. So I'm not going to discuss all the keywords in Python, but I am going to discuss the some of the important keywords that you will be using in this course. Okay. So first one is break. Let's say first one is break. This is used to terminate the control from the loop. So if you are having any loop in your program, okay, something like you might have studied for loop in case of in C programming. So if you are considering a loop which will continue its operation until some statement, it has to reach some statement, some particular condition it has to satisfy. Then in this case, if it is true, that condition is true, then it will continue in this loop, and if it is false, then it will exit that loop. Okay. But if you want to exit the loop in between, you can give this break statement, break keyword, so that the it will automatically terminate that particular loop. So it will terminate this loop before completing or before achieving that particular condition by which the loop is run. So to terminate this the control from the loop, we can use this break. And another one is that we can use is delete operation, del. So uh, this is used to delete the elements from list. If you are having a list, if you want to delete any element from the list, then you can use this particular keyword del. And another one is you can say okay, I will first put if if is used to is it is nothing but a conditional uh, decision control statement. This is a conditional decision. You check that spelling. Okay, the decision control statement. So this is just we use in any kind of a decision control. If you want a conditional decision, if you want to take a conditional decision, if something happens, then we have to choose some particular operation. If it is not going to happen, then we have to choose some other kind of operation. So if you are considering in C programming, you might have studied this condition also, if condition. So if you are considering for example, if a greater than b, then if a is greater than b, then it will do some operation. If this is false, then it will go for some other operation. So we will use some another keyword else. So if this condition is not valid, then it will go this way. So we have another keyword else, another keyword which is else, which is used again, which is used in decision control statement. So here we are not going to give any condition, but here we are having this condition. If a greater than b, we have a condition here. Here we do not have a condition, but still this is also acting as a decision control statement, because once this is false, then it will go to this step else. Okay, so that is another keyword that we'll use. Another one is else if. Instead of else if, we are having elif in Python. Elif, this is also similar to that else if in C programming. Okay, so this is used, this is similar to similar to else if in C programming or C languages, say. So this is also used, this is used to check more conditions, check more conditions. So if you are having more conditions that need to be checked in the program, then you have to use elif. Okay. If this condition is not valid, for example, if a greater than b is not valid, then we have to go else. Else if we have to look into elif. So if the first condition is not valid, then we will go to this elif. Elif, then we will be having some another condition, let's say b greater than c. Or if this condition is not valid, then also we can go for another L if some c greater than b or something, some different condition. Okay, so this kind of if you are having more than one condition that has to be checked, then we can use this particular L if keyword in the program. So I'm discussing only the important keywords that you might have, you will be using in this particular course. So, okay. So then we have this keyword for, and as you know, this is nothing but an iterative statement, nothing but an iterative statement. Iterative statement. Okay, so this is when you are having, for example, for the execution of more number of statements in multiple times, this is used for execution of more number of statements or instructions, statements multiple times. So in those situations, we will be using this particular uh, for keyword. So if you want to check some, or if you want to pass through some particular instruction, or if you want to run particular instruction or statement multiple times, then we will use this particular keyword for. Okay, so we can limit the number of times you have to go through that particular step and all those things in this particular, by using this particular keyword. Okay. And we have another important keyword. You might not have heard of this. Import. Import is used to import package to the Python program. This is used to import packages. Okay, so this is listed to import packages into Python program. Also, there is another keyword which is the from, which is also used to import packages. So here it is import sub packages. I can say sub packages into Python program. You will understand this later when you are doing program. What are these things clearly? So import is used to import uh, these packages in Python program. Okay, and this from is used to import sub packages into the Python program. We'll explain what are these packages and how we can import that into the Python program in the upcoming lectures. Then while once you start the programming, then you will understand what is the meaning of this important from uh, keywords, where we will use that particular keyword. Then we have this print. Print is another keyword. These keywords are nothing but the words which are reserved for some particular operation. Okay, so we cannot use that these words as our variable name. Okay, that's why I'm saying this, explaining this thing. So print is used to get the output. So this is nothing but your output function. Okay, this is nothing but your output function. And then we have another keyword which is the return. Return is used to return value from user defined function. User to return value from user defined function. So this will be used when we are defining some function. For example, if you are defining some function, f of x equal to something x square plus 2, okay, and then we'll be having something like return. So we will do in what we will do in Python is, so first we will define the function as f of x. Okay, define f of x. Okay, then we'll be having this statement return. What we have to return? Return the value. Return the value which is nothing but x square plus 2. So this value will be returned to this function. So this return is used to return value from the user defined function, that is this one. That's where we will use this return keyword. Okay, so this will give you the values that we have defined in the program, the functions corresponding to that function that we have defined in the program. These things you will understand more clearly once you start the programming in Python. Okay, so then we have another loop keyword which is while. Is while. This is also, as I said, it is an interactive statement. This is also used to execute or to pass through a particular statement or instruction repeatedly. In those in such situation, we use this while as well as this for loop. Okay. Data types in Python. So we discussed some of them, and we'll continue from there. So in data types, in Python, we have already discussed about the integers. So this will come in scalar type, right? Or numbers, numerical values, or numeric type, we can say. So this we have completed integers. We have also discussed about floating values. Okay, and then we discussed. I think we also discussed about the Okay, these two only I think we have discussed, float and integers, right? And then now we will discuss the third one in this scalar type, which is nothing but the complex numbers. This is complex numbers, and in complex numbers, as you know, this is nothing but a real number plus an imaginary part. Okay, so this is nothing but a number with a real and imaginary part. Imaginary part. So this is similar to the complex number you might have studied in mathematics. That is same. So if you consider this representation, so this representation will be like some x plus some y 2y, let's say. So you can consider it as you can represent this complex number using some letter like j, or, or capital J also you can use it. So you can write it like x plus jy. So this is how it look like, this complex number. So this part is x is real and this part is imaginary. Y is the imaginary part and x is the this entire part is imaginary and y is the value corresponding to that imaginary part. And this is your real part. Okay. So this number will be including both real as well as imaginary part, these complex numbers. As though, so this is available in the case of in Python. So this, for example, if you represent, you can write like 5 plus 2j. This is a complex number. Okay. So if you consider this integer as x, one integer as x, and the float value as y, you can consider 5 plus j in this format. Okay. Anyway, so this the next one is that Boolean function, that is Boolean data type. So bool. If you consider this is data with one of two built-in value, true or false. This is data with one of two built-in values, true or false. Okay. So for example, if you consider this as your x and this as your y, okay. So x is 5 and y is 2, and if you compare these two, for example, x less than y, okay, then you will get. So you are checking x less than y. Obviously, x is not less than y because x is 5 and y is 2 in this case. So we can consider this as a false state. So this will give you false state. False. So this is how this bool function will work. Okay, so it will check whether the condition is true or false. So it will always give you these two inbuilt values, true or false. So this is these are the important scalar type, and one more scalar type is there, which is none. Okay, none, which is representing the null object in Python. Representing null object in Python. So what is mean by that? None means nothing. Okay, we will not be having any value corresponding to that. If you want to have some in any of your instruction, if you want to have some value which is assigned to nothing, then you have to use this particular uh, scalar type, which is none. Okay, and then we discussed about. I think we have discussed about string. I don't know. Anyway, I will discuss completely. So we'll go to the next type, which is sequential type. We have discussed scalar type. Now we'll discuss about sequence type. So in this sequence type, we'll be having. So this is sequence. A sequence means a sequence. A sequence means collection of similar or different data types, or we can say this ordered collection is nothing but an ordered collection of similar or different okay. So in this sequence type, first we will be discussing about the string. I think we have already discussed in the last class about this string. Anyway, so we will start with string again. So first we will start with string. So in this first one is string. So in this string, okay. So string is a collection of one or more characters, okay, put in a single, double or triple quotes. The string is nothing but collection of one or more characters. These all these characters are put in single, double or triple quotes. Okay. So I will explain some of the important features or operations by using this string first. Then we will go to the next type. So in string, as I said, this can be expressed or represented by using the single or double or triple quotes. Okay, so if I declare a string like a equal to uh, let's say my name itself, Sharaf. Okay, so I have to use single quote or double quote or triple quote, and this a variable a will be assigned value this Sharaf as a string. So if you write anything which is inside a single quote or double quote or triple quote, it will be taken as a string. Okay, so and also you can see this is a collection of characters, collection of more number of characters. Here we are having 6 number of characters. So collection of these characters, which are put in a single or double or triple quotes, then that is called as a string. So here a is the variable which is representing this particular string. So this one, if you consider a as this particular string, and this particular string will be having position, different position. We call it as index. Okay, index value. So this index we calculate like 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, in this right side, if you consider like this, from the left to right, we can consider the index value of corresponding characters of this string. These are 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So the 0th position is this one, this character S, and the 5th position is this 5. Okay, and when you consider it in the reverse order, we have to take it this index as -1, -2, -3, -4, -5, -6. So this is how this index will work. Okay, so if you are taking -1, that representing the last character. Okay, so if you want to get any character from this string, you have to just write a of 1. For example, a of 1, if you write, then you will get the output as f1 is s. Okay, if you write a of some, for example, some 5, then you will be getting the output as f, which means that at this position index 5, you are having the character f. Similarly, you can also write a of -1. So a of -1 will be also f, because it is taking in the reverse order. So your -1, which is corresponding to this 6th position. Okay, so that you will be getting this character f. So f -1 is f. Similarly, you can also write a of, if you want to print a of, for example, 0 to 2, which will give you the values or the characters within this string up to 2, and 2 will not be included. Okay, so this will give you values. uh, uh, so this will give you characters up to 2, and 2 is not included. 2 is not included. 2 is not included. So we will be getting 0 is to 0 colon 2. So which will give you values. For example, in this case, it will be giving you 0 and 1, right? So position 0 and 1. 2 will not be included. So 0 colon 2, which means that you will be getting S and H. So it will be starting from 0 and it will be ending at 2 without including the second the index 2 whatever character which is representing at index 2, that is not included. So only this S and H will come. So only this S and H will come, 0 and 1. This will not be included. From here onwards it will not include. So A of 0 colon 2, which will give you SH. In the same way, you can write A of let's say if you write 2 colon, and if you are not writing anything other than this, after colon you are not writing anything, then you will be getting a print like whatever which is the character which is coming after 2, that will be printed. Here also the value 2 will not be printed. So we will be getting whatever character which is coming at the index 2 will not be printed. So we will be getting R A F. So whatever coming after the index 2, that will be printed if you are writing A of 2 and colon. And if you are writing in the same way, if you are writing only this last value, we are leaving the first one, and then we will be getting, for example, like this, and this also will give you sh without including that the character at the index 2. Okay, that also will give you sh. And if you want to have some particular ordered way, then you can write it A of let's say some 0 to 5th position. Okay, 0 to 5th position. So 0 to 5th position, and the characters that I want is by step of 2. Okay, so it will take first. So it is starting from 0, that is the first one I am saying here, and it will be ending at the 5th position. Okay, at the index 5. Okay, I'm talking about index 5. So it will be starting at index 0 and it will be ending at index 5, and it will be taking values or characters as a multiple of 2. Okay, so first it will take 0 in steps of 2, so which is 0. Then it will not take 1 first position, this one will not take, then it will take value or character corresponding to the second index 2, and then it will not take index 3, it will take then index 4, like that it will go. So we will be getting here S, then H will not come, A will come, R will not come, again A will come, and it will reach at the 5th index or 5, index 5, then it will stop. So only this SAA you will be getting as an output. Okay. If you consider some other operation with string, in the same example, I will explain everything in the same example. If you consider an operation like A of colon minus 1, so this will reverse this string. Reverse the string characters, which means that if you apply this in this particular A, so then you will be getting, first it will be printing F, it will be F, then A, then R, then again A, then H, then S. So it will just reverse the order of the characters in this string. And other methods or operations, other methods or operation in string. So we can say, let's say a dot capitalize, A dot capitalize. If you write it like this, then it will capitalize the first word. Capitalize first word. What that means, if you are considering a as string sharaf, as I written here, then this will give me output as capital S, then HARF. And you have another function. We didn't explain these functions in Python, but we'll cover it in the upcoming classes. Okay. So these functions we'll explain in upcoming classes, but here we have to use it anyway. So we add out some other, for example, count. If you consider, there are many such functions. I'm just explaining some of them. Okay. So add out count of let's say some a. Okay, so if you write it like this, it will count how many times this character a present in your string. So this will give you, if you are considering this particular string, then it will give you output 2, because there are two a's, here one, here one. So there are two a's. Number of times that character is there in your string, that will be given by a dot count a. And also you can use find function find. Here is the So the next one is, let's say, a dot find, for example, s. Then this will give you the index value corresponding to that character s. I should have that inverted comma here also. Then it will give you index value corresponding to that character. Okay. In the same way, the same thing that you can do by using the index function. So in that case, you have to write it like a dot index of let's say s, index of s. Uh, in that case, also you will be getting the index position of that particular character. And you can also use a dot lower, a dot lower this will give your all the elements in that, or all the characters will become, all characters will become lowercase. Lowercase. You can also use upper, a dot upper is also available for the uppercase, or all the characters will become uppercase. Okay, this also this also can be used. Okay, and also you have another option, a dot replace, a dot replace. If you want to replace any character from this string with some other character, so here I am replacing s with this ash. So this replace s with ash, symbol ash. So we'll be having at output, we'll be having ash, HARAF. So this s will be replaced by this ash symbol. For that you have to use a dot replace. You can also split this string by using the same state, this a dot split state, a dot split state. Whatever you have given, that you can split by using this split state. Okay, so these are the some of the function that you can use, or operations or methods that you can use with strings. Okay, and also if you want to have to join these two strings, let's consider this a equal to, for example, a equal to some sharaf. Okay, and then b is equal to tutor, for example. If you want to join these two, then you can concatenate f plus b. Then this will give you sharaf tutor. Similarly, you can multiply this with some numbers a in 3, then you will be getting sharaf, sharaf, again one more times. So these kind of operations are also possible. String operations are also possible. Here, these are string operations again. So all these are possible by using string. There are many other operations. I am just listing some of them. Also, if you want a string interpolation that you might be using in when you are taking the output of a program. Okay, when you are printing this particular thing will be used. Okay, string interpolation. So in this case we are having c, for example, some c equal to let's say um, actually actually, and then percentage s is a percentage s. Okay, and then you give this complete this inverted comma and comma percentage in curly bracket, sorry, in open bracket, you can write a comma b. So this a and b will be directly uh, put in these positions respectively. So the output will be, output of this one will be, I will explain this by doing the program, so don't worry about that. So actually what is a? A is Sharaf, right? A is Sharaf. So actually Sharaf is a. What is b? B is tutor. Sharaf is a tutor. So this is how it will print. So this kind of printing will be used when you are running the program and when you are getting the final output. In such cases, you will be using. So, for example, if you want to find out the um, value of a root of some equation, then you can use root of equation number one, root of equation number two. In such case, if you want to print root of equation number one and equation number two is like that. In such situation, you might be using this kind of operations by using strings. Okay, and now we will move to the next one, which is list in your next type, sequence type. So we'll be considering the next one, which is list. List is also almost similar to the string by means of the operations of these operations. So list, as I said, I don't know whether I have said it in the last class. Anyway, so a list is object. A list object is an ordered collection. This is an ordered collection, nothing but an ordered collection of one or more data types or data items, not necessarily of the same type. Here this may not be in the same type. These data types may not be same. Okay, same type. So ordered collection of one or more data items, not necessarily of the same type. Okay, that is called as a list. And in this case, in the case of list, we are using square bracket. So this we use for list, we use square bracket. Okay, as in the case of string, we have used the single or double or triple quotes. Here we will use square bracket to represent the list. Okay, so for example, we can consider a list like I am considering list A equal to something 25, 36, 45, and 12. So this all these data types are same because we are using integer values here, but it is not necessarily to be the same type. We can also use string in a list along with these integers. Okay, so this data type we can change. It is not necessarily it does not need any the same data type inside a list. Okay, so let's consider this kind of list, or we can consider another, because I have used another example here, so we'll just use that one. So let's consider numbers. I am shortly writing it as nums. So numbers equal to, or nums equal to, let's consider some 20, 12, 30 and 52. So this is my list. So these numbers, which are integers which are placed in a square bracket, and also you can include here with a comma separating each elements. That also you can include here. So each of these elements are separated by a comma. So we are using the elements are we are using square bracket to represent the list. All the elements are inside that square bracket, and they are separated by comma. Okay, and here also, if you want to get the numbers in this list, or elements in this list, then you can write nums of 0. Nums of 0. What is that? 0th position 20. What is nums of in this case it is 3. Okay, so what is that? This is 0th position, this one is 0th position, this is first position, second position, third position. So in third position, or sorry, not third position, in the index 3 we are having, so nums of 3, that is 52. At the index 3 we are having 52. You can also give negative number, nums of -1. So you have to use bracket here. This is last one, right? -1. Here it is -1, -2, -3. When you are considering, sorry, -1. Here it is -1, -2, -3, -4. So when you are considering in the reverse order, we have to use negative values. And remember that when you are using negative values, it will always start from -1. It will not start from 0. Okay. So nums of -1 is 52, which means that at this index value -1, we are having the element which is 52. Okay, and another operation that we can do within this list is that, for example, you can also give names. For example, if you want to make a list of names, let's consider Sharaf. This has to be put in single comma. I mean, this is in single quote, because we are representing a string here. When you are representing a string, it has to be in single, double, or triple quote. So we have to. I am just using single quote here. So it is Sharaf first name, and second one, for example, some Jack, and then some John, something like that. Anyway, 3 names. I'm just using 3 names. Okay, so this is a list. This is also representing a list, because we are using square bracket separated, and each of these elements are separated by comma. So we are using here, we are using string. Okay, these elements are string data type. And if you are printing this one, you will be getting the same list: Sharaf, Jack, and John. Okay, and also we can include, as I said, we can include both data types in the same list. Like for example, if you are considering values, consider values equal to something, for example, uh, 10, then I can put some other string, let's say Sharaf. This is small letter, and then I can use some other data type 8.5. So here I am using integer, here I am using string, here I am using float value. So in the same list I can use different data types. It is not a problem. Okay, and similar to the string, we are having different operations available in this case of a list also. So if you are considering nums as my list, and nums dot, I can take nums dot append. Okay, nums dot append I can do. Here also one more thing I have to explain. We can also create list of lists if I am writing x equal to if I am writing x equal to a list which includes both my names and values. Let's say names comma values names and values. Then this will give me the list of the list. So first I will get the list of the names, that is Sharaf, and then Jack, then John. Okay, then the next list I will be getting the values 10, comma again Sharaf, comma 8.5. So this is also possible. I can include both of these lists as again another list. You can see. Now we will explain these operations. Nums dot append. As I said, nums this list we can append data. Okay, or we can change data in this list. So I'm just using nums dot append here. So nums dot append I can use, and if you want to add any number to the list, I can write it here. Let's say 25. Then if you do it like this, and if you, the next time if you are printing that nums, okay, print nums, then you will be getting a list that will give you output as list 20, 12, 30, 52, and in the last position, okay, it will be this number 25 will be added. So this process is called as appending new values or elements to the list. So we are adding this 25 to the existing list, so we will be getting that element at the end of the list. Okay, that is where we will use this append operation. So nums dot append, or we can also use nums dot clear, nums dot clear. So nums dot clear is used to clear all the elements, in list. Okay, and if you are using some other nums dot let's say two, okay, insert nums dot insert 2 comma 51. So what this will do, this will insert 51 in index 2. Okay, so if you are doing this, then you will be getting the output like 20, then you will be getting uh, 12, then we will be getting 51 at this index 2. It will add this 51 to this list, and then we'll be having 30, 52, and 25. So I am considering this list after appending. Okay, so in this the index 2, we'll be having that 51. Okay, so that is where you use that insert option, insert function, nums dot insert. You can insert any value at a desired index position, or at a desired position in the list. Okay, in this case we are appending. In case of appending, the value will be appended at the end of the list. Here we can add or append values at any position. Okay, for that you have to specify the index value here, and you have to use this function insert, nums dot insert. This nums is the name that we have given to that list. And also we will be having some other operation like nums dot. Why we are keeping this nums dot? Because we have saved our list as nums. The name of the list is nums. So nums dot, any operation which is happening, it will be happening on that nums list. So nums dot, for example, nums dot remove. This will remove some particular number from the list. So if you want to write here some 20, okay, nums dot remove 20, that will remove your this value 20 from your list, and we will be getting output as 12, 51, 30, 52, and what are the remaining things? 25, right? 25. So your list will be like this after this particular operation. Remove 20. So your value 20 will be removed from the list. And also we have delete numbers. Delete. In this case, we are writing delete dot nums 2 is to 0. So it will be deleting all values from sorry, here we don't occur 0. So not write 0 here because 2 is smaller than that. So you can write it simply 2 colon and you close this square bracket. Then you can directly delete the values which is after this index 2. So this will delete, this will delete all elements uh, from index 2 onwards. Okay, so in this case, remember that this 2 is also included. 2 included. So this index, whatever value which is at this index also will be getting deleted. Okay, if you are using delete option. And then we have another function. If you are using nums.extend. For example, if you use some more numbers to the list 10, 11, 12, and then you are having your list. If you are using like this, then this will give you extension to your list. So these numbers will be added to your list. So let's consider the first list as my nums. So in that case, so I am taking this one. Okay, I'm taking this one. So in that case, we will be getting 20, 12. Then we'll be having. Okay, after the, let's consider after removing this from here. So we'll be having after this, we'll be having output only which one? 0 and 1. Okay, 0 and 1. So 12 comma 15 will be available now for your nums, okay, because we have deleted all other values. So if you are considering like that, then I can write this as two elements are there now because all other elements are deleted from this step. Okay, so we will be having 12 and 15. Then we will be having these elements 10, 11, 12. So what happened here? This list, these elements which is in this list is added to your list nums. That is we have used this function extend. So we can add number of elements at the same time by using this extend function. And then we have the minima of nums. Then we have maxima of nums. All these things we will be using while doing the program. That's why I'm explaining these things. And we have sum of nums. Okay. And nums dot sort. So this will give you the minimum. What is the lowest number in the list? That is the minimum of your list, and this will give you the highest number in the list. For example, in this, if you are considering this list, you will be getting here the minimum value, which is nothing but 10, right? If you consider minimum of nums, it is 10 now. And if you consider maximum of nums, it is 15. And if you want to get the sum, so this will add all these numbers and you'll be getting sum of all elements in that list. And here we are having sort nums. Oh, So we'll be having nums dot sort. Okay, nums dot sort means it will be sorting this entire list in a particular format. Okay, so these are the important operations that we can use in list. We will explain that while doing the program. I will show a demo of the same, and then we are having another category which is the tuple. This is a tuple. So a tuple object is an ordered collection of one or more data items, not necessarily in the same type. So this is also a tuple object. Tuple object is an ordered collection of one or more data items may not be of the same type, and we use open bracket, or we can say parenthesis, to represent tuple. Parenthesis to represent these tuples. So let me see this. Okay, okay, let's consider this first. Tuples, and this is same as set in the this case. Okay, but we'll explain. Let me see whether we can explain both of them at the same time. Okay, so this is okay. First, I will explain tuple, then we'll go to the set. Okay. So in case of tuple, as it said, which is also again an ordered collection of uh, one or more data items. They may not be the same type. They may not be same type. The difference between the tuple as well as the set also, when you consider the set also, we will be having this set here. Okay, that we'll discuss later. So if you are considering tuple and list, the difference comes is that the list you can change the values. In list you can change values. In tuple you cannot change values. Okay. So in tuple we can call it as an immutable. It is an immutable. It is immutable because you cannot change values. So this one, I should say, this one is immutable, which means that we cannot change the values or elements in tuple. So in tuple we cannot change the values or elements, so we call it as immutable. Okay, but list is mutable because we can change values in a list. We can change values in a list. We can add values. We can take off the values, remove values. All those things can be possible. But tuples, if you are considering tuple, then that is not possible. This is immutable. Okay. In some application, we need some kind of this kind of data or structured data, ordered collection of data, and that should not be changed. Okay. In such situation, we have to use these tuples. Okay. So for example, if I am considering a tuple, I'm writing this tuple which is equal to, we use parenthesis or open bracket for this, okay, and this one will be 20. Let's consider 20, 10, some 30 and 40. These are all are integer values. Now if you take the values as we discussed in the case of a list, you can consider tuple of 1 with index 1, then that will give you 20 because it is the uh, value or the element at the index. Sorry, this should be 10, right? So this is the value or the uh, value in this tuple index. This is 0 and this is 1, so it will give me 10. Okay. But if you are considering, let's consider tuple of 1 equal to, if you are assigning tuple of 1 equal to some other value, because if you want to replace this 10 with some other value in this tuple, and if you are running your program after assigning tuple this position 1 or the index 1 value is changed into 30 from 10, then if you are running this program, then you will get error. You will be getting error for this one because you cannot change values in a tuple. Okay. Some other functions that you can use in this tuple also, like if you can use tuple dot count. You can use count any for example 10. Yeah, then it will give you values number of times this 10 repeated in that particular tuple. This count you can use. Okay. So basically this, so we use this tuple when we don't want to change the values in a particular set of data. Okay. Also iteration by means of this, if you are considering no change in the data inside this tuple, since there is no change in data, this iteration will be fast in tuple as compared to list. Okay, so because list this tuple will be having always it will be having same data. We are not going to change the data. So this iteration in by using tuple will be faster as compared to list. Okay, so that is the difference between list and tuple. Also, we have another type, data type, which is called as set. So this is similar to that set you might have studied in your uh, mathematics classes. So these are collection of unique. Here remember that it is unique items. Should be unique items. Collection of unique items that are that are not orderly arranged. So collection of unique data, we have to consider unique items here, unique items. In the previous case, we didn't consider unique items. Here it is unique items, but they are not orderly arranged in the case of set. Okay, and we use curly bracket. We use we use curly brackets to represent set. Also, you can include that we will use comma to separate each elements in the set. That is also there. And in this case, we are having a special category called as frozen set. That is okay. It is not that much important for you, but you can also just because this frozen, if you consider frozen set, this frozen set is immutable. Frozen set. Sometimes we need values as such. It should not be changed. In such cases, we have to use this frozen set, and these are immutable. Frozen sets are immutable. Okay. And if you consider this, for example, if you consider any set, I will use CET. which is equal to, we are using curly brackets here to define a set, and then we have 20, 50, then 15, 18, like this. Okay, and if you print this particular set, then you will be getting these numbers, but it will be different. They will not be orderly arranged. Okay, I will show you how it will come when you are doing the program. Okay, set will be set will not be used for, or you can write will not. Sometimes it is not responding. Okay, I'll write it as set is not for sequence. And also, since there is no specific sequence or pattern that is not following in the case of set, okay, then we have to consider this. There is no indexing. Since we are not having any kind of sequence here, there is no indexing here. Or you can say indexing is not supported by this set. Indexing is not supported by set. But you have some other functions or features. You can use set dot add to add any elements. Okay, and you also can use set dot clear to clear the set values elements in the set. Also, you can use set dot pop to remove a particular value. Also, you can use set dot remove to remove a value. So the difference will come. I think I didn't explain that in this list. I think I don't know. Let me see that. I had to explain that. For, okay. Anyway, I will explain that when doing the program. Okay. Pop and remove. What are the difference between these? So now we will discuss about the dictionary, or we will discuss about the dictionary in the next class. I will just show you the demo of uh, these things, list, string, and tuple set in this lecture. So I will open the IDLE and show that. Let me open that IDLE module. Now it is so 18. So first I have to open this, and I have to change the tab that I'm sharing in Google Meet. So I will just share this ideally now. Okay? So I will share a new tab, which is ideally. The system is getting slow. Okay, this one. Okay. Okay, so hope you can see the screen. Ideally, screen. I will explain what are the different things that we have used here. So first we will consider the string operations, different string operations that we have considered. So first I will write a as a string in this case. Okay. So a equal to a string. So for string I have to write it as in uh, double or sorry single or double or triple chords. Okay. So I am writing sharaf here. Okay. So my a is now a string. I have defined a as a string here. I hope you can see that a equal to sharaf. I think I have missed one a here. Now, if I call this a of 0, for example, what is my character at the index 0? I had to write it like this, a of 0, and then I will be getting the value at a of 0. That is nothing but s. You can see from the screen. And if you want to get a of the last one, that is at the index value 5. So a of 5, if I want to get a of 5, then I can get like this, it is f. You can also print, you can use print statement also here, a of 5, a of 5, you get same answer, f. And if you write a of minus 1, you will be getting the final value as well, same final value as, because we are taking in the reverse order. And then we have discussed a of let's say a of let's say 0 colon 0 colon 2. So up to 2, it will give me the values. What are the characters up to the index 2? Okay. So that is sh. That as we explained that one. And then if you consider a of let's say if you are not giving that 0, then what will happen? It will give same, because it will automatically take at its initial value, index value as 0. And then if you consider a of 2 is 2, which means 2 and colon, and if you are not um, giving the final value, the final index value, then it will automatically take the final value of your string, and it will give me from that uh, second 2 index 2, it will give me the all other values. Okay, so in this case it is including, I don't know whether I have said in the opposite way. You check that. So in this case it is including the value or element at index 2. Okay. And also then we have discussed you can also print like a of colon. If you are simply giving colon, it will print entire string. Then we have discussed a of 0 colon 5, 0 colon 5 colon then 2, which means that we actually want elements starting from 0 ending at 5 in steps of 2. Okay, so I will be getting SAA because it is starting from S, then H is not printing, it is not giving me H, then I am getting A, then R is not there, then A again. So it is going in steps of 2. Okay, for that we can use it the format like this. And then we have A of, we discussed A of 2 colon and minus 1 to reverse this string, reverse the string. So you can see now it is FARASHS. Okay, this is how we can reverse the string. Then we used some different other functions. A dot capitalize, if you consider capitalize, it is there in okay. Okay. So if you consider capitalize like this and press enter, then you will be getting the first letter of your string will be getting capitalized. Okay. And also if you consider the case a dot, you will be getting all the functions when you are considering this string. You can see from the screen if you have case fold, sender, count, encode, all those functions we can use, but we will be using some of them random in this course. So that only I'm going to discuss. So we can use count a, the number of times this element a or the character a is there in your string, that will be given. So this is 2. So in sharaf there are 2 a's. Okay, and then if you consider if you want to find out a particular string, a particular character in your string, then you have to use a dot find. A dot find which character you have to find. For example, s. You want to find s, then you have to use this double quotes again, and then if you press enter, you will be getting the index of that particular character in your string. That is 0. For this case, it is 0. And if you consider if you want to get index of any character, for example, a dot, you can directly give index of, for example, f. What is index of the character f? Then I have to write it like this. And then if you press enter, you will be getting the index of that particular character, which is 5. Okay, and also you can change the case. For example, if you consider a dot lower, so all the characters will become lowercase. You can see here. And if you consider a dot upper, and all characters in your string will be going to become uppercase sharaf. Okay, that also you can do. So all those things we can perform by using these functions. For example, a dot replace I dot replace of what? Replace of s, for example, s with ash. I will be getting like this. So my s will be replaced with that particular symbol. Okay, so all these operations can be done by using. And now I am defining one more variable. Sorry, one more variable. Okay, one more variable as a string, like for example, tutor, that I have explained in the when I discussed the theory part. So I am giving a b as tutor. Okay, and now I want a plus b. That will be my a plus b will be sharaf tutor. Okay, so there is a this both of these strings are added together. And then we can also use the string interpolation here. So let's say c equal to let's say c equal to some string. Actually, when I have to use percentage of s, I think we have to have some consider. Let me see whether it is working or not. Is a percentage s, then I have to use I don't know whether it will work or not. Maybe some errors. A comma b, print C. Actually, sharaf is a tutor. Okay, so that percentage s position is replaced with a. First one is replaced with a, and second one is replaced with b. And you can see actually sharaf is a tutor. So this is very important, because when you are printing your output from the program, you have to specify this kind of statements. So in that cases, you might have been using this kind of interpolation, string interpolation. Okay, and now we'll discuss some of the same with the list. Let us consider list of nums equal to. Now I'm discussing about list. Okay, so list we are using square bracket instead of the quotes. We are using square bracket. Let's consider 20, comma 12, comma 30, comma 52 are the values. Okay, that's my list. So I have already defined my list. And now if you want to have any values as we did for the string, we can give directly like this, and you will be getting nums of 0. You will be getting the what is the value of the in the list at that position. And similarly, all other operations that we have done for string, which we can do this in this also. So nums of, for example, let's say 2 colon, then if you write, then it will give you the other values, this 30 and 52. 2 colon. If you are giving, it will give you the other values 2 and uh, 30 and 52 it is given. So from 2 onwards it will give. Okay. So when you are starting with this index, it will give you the values where you started. But at the end index, if you are considering the value which you are giving at the end, in this case, end index that will not give. Okay. For example, if you do like nums of uh, you are starting from 0, for example, and colon you are ending at 2, so it will not give you the element at the index 2. Okay, so you'll be getting 20 and 12 at the starting element. You will give starting index element, it will give, but the ending element it will not. So all other operations that we have discussed for string that can be applied in here also. I will tell some functions. For example, append. For example, nums dot append. If you want to append any value to the list, then you can use some 25 that you have to apply to the list, append to this list. Then if you print now, if you print your list, what is your list nums? Nums. Then you can see your 25 value will be appended to that list. You can see from here 20, 12, 30, 52, then 25. The appending will be done in the last or the end of this list. And if you want to add some particular number in a particular location, then we have to use some other function, which is insert. So we have to use nums dot insert, where you have to insert the value. Depending on that, it will change. Okay. For example, you can also use clear. I'm not using that here. Nums dot clear is going to use. It will clear all the elements in this list. So nums dot insert, if you want to insert a particular value in some particular index or in for some particular position. So for example, 2 comma, in this case I'm using 2 comma, I have to use this parenthesis 2. So 2 comma, here I have, for example, 51. So I am replacing the, I'm inserting 51 in the index position 2. Okay. So I will be, then I am printing, sorry, printing the list nums. I'll be getting like this. So that 51 is inserted in the third position. That is in the second index position. So all other values are there. Okay, just it is inserting new value at that particular index. Okay, and then we have this pop. I will explain what is this pop means. Nums dot pop. Pop is used to remove a particular value. If you don't want that 51 anymore in your list, then I have to use nums dot pop, and in bracket you have to give 51. So in that nums list, you are removing that 51 value 51. In this, in this case, we have to give the index, which index you have to. So here we'll be removing the second one, right? Index second index value we have to remove. So that is this. So nums.pop, it will be like this. So if you print your, so you are actually you are taking that value out of your list. Okay, so nums dot if you are printing that from num in nums, now you can see that 51 is gone. Okay, so you are actually taking that 51 from your list by using this pop option. Okay, nums.pop. And then we have another method to remove one particular value is nums.remove itself. You can use remove, and you can give that particular value. If you are using remove command or remove function, then you have to use that particular value. For example, 20. That element you have to give. In pop option, you have to give index. So now you have already removed that 20, and if you are printing the list nums again, then you can observe that that 20 will be removed from your list. And all other elements, all other operations that we have done for string, which can be applicable to this also. And again, I think we have done all the operations. Okay, we have minima and maxima. So you can consider minima of nums. What is that? Minimum of num is 12. You can see now it is the minimum value is 12. And you can also consider maximum of nums. Maximum of nums. So I think I didn't added those elements, right? So okay, anyway, okay. First I will add that elements because I have taught you in theory like that. So first I will add that nums dot extend to add number of elements into the list, more number of elements. So extend, then I have to use a list of values. Let's consider the same elements 10, and then we had 11 and 12. Okay, so these elements will be added or added to this list, which is the extension. Okay, so now if you are printing your nums list, you can see all those elements are also in this list 10, 11, 12, which are added at the end. Okay, and now if you take the minima of your nums, we will be getting 10. If you take maximum of nums, we will be getting this maximum 52, right? That is the maximum value in that list. Highest value, sorry, highest value in that list. You can also use sum of nums, which means that you are adding all the elements together, and what is the total of that? That is 152. And also you can use nums dot sort, another function. This will sort your elements. Okay, if you are printing now your nums, you can see that your numbers elements will be sorted. So print nums. Okay, 10, 11, 12, 12, 5, 2 times 12 are coming. 12 are coming, so 25, then 30, then 52. Now it is sorted in a particular arrangement. Now we'll discuss the tuples and set. First, we will discuss the tuples. So in tuples, we will be representing them by using parentheses, open brackets. So let's consider tuple like 20, comma, 10, comma, 30, comma, 40. This we already defined this in theoretical class also. So 20, 10, 30, and 40. This is my tuple. Okay. And now, if you want to get any element from this tuple, you can give a tuple of 1. Okay. Let's consider tuple of 1. What will be that? 10. Okay. This is the second element, or the uh, element at the index 1. That is 10. I will be getting value or element that is 10. And if you want to change the values in the tuple, let's consider tuple of 1. I have to change to some 30 equal to 30. Okay. Now if you enter, it will show me error because you will not be able to change any value in tuple because it is immutable, as I discussed earlier. That is the difference from of tuple from the list. And in some cases, we need such kind of data type or configuration where we do not the values should not change. Okay, so in that situation, we use tuple instead of list. Also, it is going to be faster than list. Now, if you consider set, I will be designing some set here. So set is also a collection of unique data or unique elements. So in set we are using curly bracket, as we said earlier. So 20, again 20, some other 50, 15. These numbers I am taking randomly. So again some 18. Okay. So this is my set. Yeah. This is my set. Now, if you print this print set, you can see that these are not coming in any ordered manner. Okay, this is coming 50, 18, 20, 15. So this is not coming in the any ordered manner. So it is not a sequence format. So we cannot access, or we cannot take any of the elements from the set by providing the index value, because there is no indexing in this case, because it is not following any kind of sequence. So, for example, if you put some other values 20, comma 50, comma again, if you give 50s, then it will 150 will be removed from the list. Okay, so 60, some 15, something like that. And if you enter, and then that values are now the set is defined, and if you print that set in this set, okay, and then you will be getting 50, 20, 60, and 50. So that is giving me some random order. So it is not following the same order, and 150 has been removed also. Okay, so the you cannot access any value. For example, set of, for example, if I am writing set of one and enter, that will give me error because there is no sequence for this set. There is no index. Okay, so that is not possible here. But you might be able to add numbers to the set, like set dot add. You can use this particular. Uh, I think it will be right. It should come automatically. Let me see. Add some 11. Let me see some number whether it will work. Okay. Then print set. Then that 11 is added to your set. That is possible. Set, you can add elements